This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Slowman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Slowman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Slowman Shield.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen, epic deals await you at Toyota of Hollywood. You don't have to battle to get discounts of up to $4,500. Your chariot awaits. A Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our arena where everyone is victorious at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody Dental. Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodydental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rheaume. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rheaume can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard, and we are back at beautiful Caneswear, baby. Yes, sir. Orange out. We got to go orange out. We got, of course, the big game coming up against Notre Dame. So we've got orange out. We got 9 days till kickoff. Cannot wait. I am psyched for this Cane season. I'm not really pumped too much for the Dolphin season. I'm going to look forward to it. I'll watch it. Hope players improve. Hope they shock me. But this is I think this has to be the season where you start turning it around and becoming one of those teams again, in the mix. So this is the year. I feel good about the Canes. I really, really do. So we've got the Catholics versus Convict shirts. We got jerseys. See, use our code, Big O10. You will get 10% off. Big O10. You will get 10% off, of course. We've got a little playoff of MTV, MIA. Use our code Big O10. You will get 10% off, of course. And the famous, I'm leaving with one of these today. There's another one I'm leaving with, but I'm told I can't put it on the air. There's only a few left. I got me one. Kind of limited, so they don't want to put it out there, and then you're rushing over for it. But it's like really good. It's really good. It's if you despise Notre Dame like I do, it's really good. So, and by the way, you can get all of this online too. If you're watching, wherever you're watching, Caneswear.com, Big O10, you will get 10% off, all of that. So, by the way, Matthew Tkachuk will be here on my birthday month. On my birthday is October 1st. Well, October 8th, Wednesday, October 8th, Matthew Tkachuk here, 6 to 7:15 p.m. And then Sergei Bobrovsky on September 21st. He'll be here at 11:30 a.m., baby, till 1. So 11:30 to 1, 90 minutes with Sergei Bobrovsky. And Matthew Tkachuk will be here for an hour and 15 minutes on Wednesday, October 8th, signing. So make sure you're here early because those lines here are enormous. And something tells me for Tkachuk and Bobrovsky, those lines are going to be amazing. La Spada must love it because obviously how many people are in line with a sub? Right? Seriously.
Bring an extra person with you so they can go get your sub while you wait in line.
Right. Exactly. That's how you plan. That's how you plan. Exactly. That's what you did. We did that the other day. I got an extra chicken biscuit. Boom. Got it for my man. It's a beautiful thing. They took too long, so they felt bad. They gave me an extra chicken biscuit. They said, "Here, fat guy, you probably eat 2 of them." And I was like, "All right, whatever." And there you go. It is what it is. Anyway, it is a good morning. Jerome Powell spoke. He basically said, "Really can't tell what the hell is going on in our economy, but I think we got to do a rate cut." And so there you go. Bitcoin hit 112 just a little while ago. Let me see. When was it that I tweeted it out? I just want to see, just for the hell of it. It is funny, okay? Because I tweet out this morning, a little while ago, 2 hours ago exactly. Okay, it was at 8:42 in the morning. All right, so 2 hours and 18 minutes ago, a Bitcoin hit $12,006. And I just put thank you. As you know me, I love me some dips. Okay. So I just saw that. And then now, well, if you go look, Bitcoin right now is at 116 in 2 hours and those 12 minutes. I'm sorry, it's at 116,296 now. It's gone up $4,300 like that.
Just like that. Good old Jerome Powell. Oh, I'm sorry, 116 for 11. And I think I was just saying it yesterday, right? It's a gift. It's there. They will have to cut rates. They will have to print. They just bought back $4 billion of their own debt. You see how they're circumventing the Fed, because what they're doing is they're buying back their own debt, and so by doing that, they just printed $4 billion into existence. 116,501. It's maybe, just maybe, today's the day. God candle. We were at 124, so we could easily shift 10,000 from 112 to 122 today. Easily. All right. Very interesting. 116,533. It's just climbing. It's just flying. This is fun to watch. By the way, the Philippines introduced a bill to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Everybody's on the bandwagon. Not a financial advisor, of course. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't know anything. You do your own homework. But it's a beautiful morning, especially if you took advantage of that dip. Oh, man. If you did that, you're smart. You are smart. Let's see. What do we got? We got some stuff to talk about. David Furones will be joining us in a few minutes. So we'll talk a little Dolphins. We'll wrap up the week. We'll preview the preseason game, which I got to tell you something. I disagree with what's going on this week with the Dolphins. They're going to play their starters, and the Jags aren't playing theirs. I'm not a fan of that. And, we're going to have David Furones on, and he made a point, which now they broke it. Every season, and in the preseason, they've only played 2 once in the starters. Considering Austin Jackson's not ready, you really don't have great depth on the line. Tyreek hasn't really practiced. I don't know what you need to prove. I get the offensive line, the other 4 guys playing a little bit, but play with the other quarterbacks. I wouldn't put 2 out there, and I wouldn't put most of my starters out there outside of the offensive line, which I understand they need a little bit because that is super important in the chemistry and all of that. But to risk your starters in a game where they're not even using their starters, so you're going to have their backups, and their backups are going to want to make a name on your starters. I think it's a terrible coaching move, but it is consistent on behalf of Mike McDaniel. But I personally disagree with this. If you didn't get enough with the other practices and the scrimmages with the other teams, and you did more than most, I noticed that there were a lot of teams that only had 1. You had 3 different teams you scrimmaged with, and you played playoff games. If you didn't get your starters ready in all those settings, and you've got to risk it now with right before the season, I got to say, I'm on record. I completely disagree with this. I think it's a terrible coaching move, but I'm not surprised because Mike McDaniel is a mediocre coach. Yes, sir.
I was going to ask you, do you think this is saying Austin Jackson won't be available week 1? So they're putting everybody out there to see what that looks like?
Okay, you want to do it with the linemen, I'm good, but I don't want to put 2 out there. Somebody makes a mistake and they give up a guy. Did you see Jackson Dart yesterday?
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's going to happen in game Dart, 1 too, though.
But Jackson Dart has to play.
Yeah, no, yeah, so he's a rookie.
He's a rookie, and so you got it. But that's my point. Like, Aaron Rodgers isn't even playing the entire and he's in a new team that he's never played with. A new division, new team, nothing. He doesn't know jack crap. And he's not even playing. But he's 41, dude. I mean, the guy's he's put together with, Scotch tape at this point. I'm not a fan of it, bro.
The only reason I ask is because, again, Tua runs this offense like no other quarterback does.
Nobody.
From the motion to wherever. So whoever's out there or whatever, wherever Austin Jackson is, he needs to understand how Tua's calling the game.
Yes.
So my feeling is I think Austin Jackson's not going to be ready game one, is the way I'm feeling. And they're going to give whoever's taking his spot that opportunity to get with Tua so he understands what's going on with the offense. And again, not saying it's right, but to me, that's the only thing that would even sort of kind of make sense because, as you say, if you put him out there and Austin Jackson's going to be ready for week one, you're just putting Tua to get beat up. He's a piñata.
Right.
You're just dangling him there for, as you said, a second round or a second team that wants to make the team. He's gonna nail him.
Right. And that is, to me, I don't know how you guys feel out there. You can express it there on the chat board. Please, by the way, express yourself by hitting the like button. That's very, very important whenever you're listening or watching the show, day or night. Please do that, okay? Because that is very, very important. What happened? Oh, okay. I'm going to lose it. Why? What happened? Who is it? Where? Big O, should we trade Tyreek to Washington for Brian Robinson and a fourth rounder and a corner and a lineman? Yeah, fantasy trades. Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude, that's for like shows that are run by fans and people that really don't have material to talk about. So they do all those kind of hypotheticals. I'm not sure if you watch the show a lot. We're way beyond hypotheticals and desperate for all that kind of stuff. We're a little bit ahead. We kind of we play chess here. Everybody else plays checkers. Let's put it that way. Anyway, what do we got here, baby? We got 116,691, 116,704. We're headed to 117. We're headed to $5,000. Halfway to a God candle. God candle is $10,000 in one day. Okay? $10,000 in one day, man. The Scarface way. $10,000 in one way. Okay? Sosa says one way. That's the way we'll do it. Don't forget, smash the hell out of that like button. You can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. MVPs on the show, Moody Dental, right there, baby. That's an MVP right there. Moody Dental. My wife, my daughter, my mother-in-law, myself, years going there, all kinds of different procedures, from, cavities to crowns to cosmetic to all kinds of stuff. And, of course, they can take care of you in Dade and Broward because they've got offices in Dade and in Broward. You got the numbers there, 305-821-0231 in Dade, in Broward, 954-692-6825, and tell them that we sent you, and they will take care of you, which is a beautiful thing. 116,707. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins with the one and only David Furones in our Welton Rheaume Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rheaume Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rheaume has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? How you feeling? How you living?
I'm feeling good, man. It's Friday. It's we're wrapping up training camp, getting closer to real football being played. We got one preseason game left to get out of the way, and then also before the regular season starts, I'm gonna get to cover the UM Notre Dame game Because got that too next weekend.
You're a good luck charm.
Right, with the Panthers and all? Yeah, remember that?
Right. See, we've figured out that the Dolphins has nothing to do with you. It's been going on for 40 years. You're just part of, the whole thing that's going on. It's just it's the George Richards effect. It wasn't George's fault that the Panthers sucked. Finally it came around. The right owners came around and they're winning titles. And see, George Richards is like, you see, I'm a good luck charm. You know what I mean? He even left to go cover Columbus and then came back and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good in the hood, So we can prove these kind of things that some of you are not the saps that are going on here. So I like this, that they have sent you over. I don't think the Sun Sentinel realizes that you're a good luck charm now. So when they send you to these kind of things, there's a good chance that Notre Dame is going to lose. So I like it. I like this. I like this move by the editors.
Yeah.
It might suck for you because they add extra work on you. But I'm just saying,
let's ignore. Yeah. Let's ignore that the Heat lost the NBA Finals against the Nuggets when I did pop in there
again,
and that the Panthers also lost that Stanley Cup. But we'll go with
it. Had nothing to do with you. Okay, we know what the Heat problems are nowadays, and they were lucky. In fact, because of you, they got to the NBA Finals. Am I right, Sean? They didn't even belong in the NBA Finals.
Except for failure.
If it wasn't for Furones, you don't even get there, bro. So I don't even know. I'm sorry. I don't think you understand how this works, and you're a part of it.
I hate to break it to you, but I didn't cover any of the playoffs until the NBA Finals. That's when we.
But you were there by osmosis. So
I'll rock with that. Yeah.
Okay, so don't rock the boat, bro. Let's just keep it going here. You know what I'm saying? By the way, use our code BIG010 if you shop here at Caneswear online or in person. You will get 10% off. So get your Catholics versus Convict shirt. I'm leaving with one today myself. And I'm leaving with a couple of other shirts. Yeah. Oh yeah. Can you wear that in the press box? Catholics versus Convicts. Can you do that?
No, probably not. Although, I guess it does represent the two schools anyway. So
right.
Right. So but I'll probably just wear some neutral colors. I think it would be the professional move.
Well, I say when Miami wins, you go to the Notre Dame locker room with that shirt. And then, and then interview them. That's what you in the press box, you have like a normal shirt on, and then you pull a Superman in the elevator on the way down. Boom, you pull out the shirt, you have it under, and you stash the other shirt in your bag, and you just walk in to the Notre Dame locker room. Okay? Actually, I have a better shirt. I can't put it on air because they don't want me to because they're running out of it. It's very popular. And it's a little nasty towards Notre Dame. It's funny. It's really, really good. Yeah, it's really, really good. I don't even know if they have it online, if you can get it online. But, they have it there. They're just running out of it.
Maybe you'll tell me after the show.
I'll send you a picture of it. I'll send you a picture of it. Yeah, it's actually really good. Okay, so Austin Jackson's not going to play. Correct?
Not going to play what? The
preseason game.
Oh, of course not. No, yeah.
Tyreek Hill, not going to play the preseason game. Okay. Darren Waller. Hell, he doesn't even practice, but not going to play the preseason.
Definitely don't throw him into a game where tackling is allowed. No.
Right, exactly. So, and the Jags are not playing their starters, correct?
Correct.
Why is Miami putting Tua out there? And you mentioned, and you were right, the MO was you only play him once. Why would you want to do this? You saw what happened, and you have to play Jackson Dart. You have no choice. Because he's a rookie, he's got to get it going, and you don't even, you're not even starting him in anything, but you got to get him playing time. So I understand that, but you put a guy like Tua at risk because you have no right tackle. Tyreek's not on the field. And I know Tua can see things right away and react, but you just never know. Do you agree with this? Because you've had all these practices, these scrimmages against other teams. If you didn't get your first teamers enough time then, Why would you want to put something at risk now so close to the season?
Yeah, this is why I was still going back and forth on it because, yeah, the precedence for Mike McDaniel was play him one time. That was what we had seen over the 3 previous preseasons. From my recollection, what we had also seen was that those instances would occur at home. So then that was why it also kind of left me up in the air because, okay, this is the home game. It just happens to be the last one. I do remember the first year that they were all together. Tua was throwing that bomb to Tyreek in the final preseason game of the 3, and it was at home. It was against the Eagles. So that was also the first time they were ever playing together at all. Tua and Tyreek. Tyreek had just joined the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel's first year at the helm. So there was those circumstances. So I wasn't sure which way it would go. And Mike had even said that after the Bears game, when he did roll out the starters for one series, each on offense and defense, he did say he wanted to get them in for one more. So process of elimination was after it wasn't against Detroit, it would happen back home. But ultimately, what he wants to do is just get everyone in the game operation of Hard Rock Stadium where they're going to be playing half of their games. So get used to preparing for a game, having the starters go out there, go through a routine, and get that down, have a rep at that before you go into real games when it counts. So now how much? I mean, I think it should just be one drive. I feel like the Dolphins won that joint practice against the Jaguars, so it's not like you need more than that to prove anything to anyone. I would have liked it more if Tua was getting some reps with Tyreek, just because this is the season where they're trying to bounce back off of 2024, where they didn't have a big year. Tyreek, for the first time as a Dolphin, was under 1,000 yards. You had all the offseason drama. Tua has been saying that Tyreek still needs to rebuild his relationship with his team. He's mentioning how they have different personalities in an in-game interview. So all these things, I would have liked it if it was a situation where Tyreek Hill was available. So I kind of was leaning, don't play him since Tyreek wasn't going to be available with that oblique injury. But ultimately, they're going to go with just getting another go at preseason rep, run through the routine one more time.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And by the way, as for the Tyreek relationship stuff, my God, people got to let it go, bro. There's been no progress there whatsoever. We're not in the season yet. You haven't seen him go through a game where he didn't catch a ball and they won, or he didn't catch a ball for 2 weeks and they lost, or he missed a block or dropped a pass and then you guys are all over him at the end of a game. We haven't seen him. I don't know. Waddle catches a pass in the open field and Tyreek does something amazing, helps out on a block and helps free Waddle for a touchdown. We haven't seen real trials and tribulations. That's what builds the camaraderie. That's what builds trust. No trust is built in any offseason. So it doesn't matter how many times you guys ask or the television people ask. I think it's a silly-ass subject, to be quite honest. Okay? Nobody in the world would trust Tyreek right now. Tyreek, as they said in Animal House, is on double secret probation by everyone, dude. His family, his kids, his wife, ex-wife, his teammates. He has failed everybody. And until he actually goes through the fire, the real fire, off-season and this stuff, there's no fire here, bro. There's no tests. There's no test of your character, of your will, of your dedication, of your commitment. The season will do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, I just find the conversation of where his relationship is with Tua or anybody else on this team, the problem is they're just not boldly going to tell you how they really feel. Like, yeah, dude, we know he's talented, but none of us trust him until he proves it. And that's where I think all of this is just silly sensationalism, to be quite honest. Your thoughts on that?
There's only so much you could learn on that front from an offseason when, like you said, a team isn't being put through the trials and tribulations, being put through any adversity, which is every NFL and every football coach's favorite word. There is not really adversity as far as in season, in the offseason, preseason, in OTAs and minicamp. You don't see that. You haven't had a situation yet where they have a drive late in the game to win, and Tua doesn't see Tyreek Hill open and throws elsewhere, or Tyreek is off the field on third down on a key play, or he's on the sideline wanting the ball more, and he's shouting at someone. We haven't seen that yet. What we do have is, yes, he's behaved all offseason because, yes, that is a point of emphasis. Obviously, that's going to be, or that was.
By the way, I was fantastic as a kid in summer.
Right. You're happy all the time. You're getting everything.
Yeah, dude. How about you? How were you in summer? I was fantastic. I can't tell you how I was when school was going on. Adversity hit. And so I may not have reacted well at times, you know what I'm saying? But my summers, hey, bro, undefeated, baby. Undefeated, just like Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? We're in summer school. We're hanging out in Venetian pool. We're just relaxing. I know too many of you folks out there have no idea what I just said, but I'm just talking about somebody that's old and grew up in Miami. I'm just saying my summers are undefeated, and so they should be for Tyreek Hill. Show me when the test comes.
Right.
When you said I'm out, I quit. When those days, those are the ones that's when we'll find out if Tyreek really is truly committed and if his relationship is truly repaired also with his teammates. Asking now, all you're going to get are company lines and just a bunch of BS. At least that's the way I look at it, dude.
Right. It hasn't been tested right now. And now, granted, they did win the offseason in that regard, because you could have a situation like what's going on with the Cowboys and Micah Parsons.
Well, that's the Cowboys. No, that's the Cowboys 24/7 for 30 years. That's a whole different the old fart just came out and said, I like drama, and when we're not, he loves a train wreck. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different ballgame than anyone. I don't think there's another team like that. I don't think it exists. He makes drama out of everything. It's different. I wouldn't compare the Dolphins to this.
Oh, no, yeah. But I'm just saying, when a season ends like that, with Tyreek Hill taking himself out of a game, the locker room blow up, and that it could have been an offseason all like that, like what we're seeing with the Cowboys, like we often see with the Cowboys. So at least the offseason portion of it hasn't been that. So credit to Tyreek Hill for trying right now, all these months that have led up to this. The true test, of course, will come once adversity hits during the regular season. We'll see where these guys are at, because also, yeah, you mentioned company lines, but Tua is still being real when he talks in interviews about Tyreek Hill. He was up front, and he wasn't painting a flowery picture at the beginning of training camp. He was saying, yeah, Tyreek Hill really needs to rebuild his relationship with his team. And Tyreek said, I needed to hear that. He took those words to heart, and he's been trying for this training camp. Even though he hasn't been out there, he's been involved. He's out there trying to coach up the other receivers, catching balls on the side, whatever he could do through that oblique, running as much as he can, cutting the things that he can do, testing the oblique to get himself ready for the regular season. But the true test, of course, will come later on.
I mean, it looked to me like he's already lost the job. Ollie Gordon should be the number 2 as it is right now, because this guy just has not done enough to even improve. Unfortunately, he has regressed in the progress, and now he got injured yesterday. And Jalen Wright, I know, dude, I'm putting you in an impossible position, but what do we know about this?
No, just what we saw at practice yesterday. First, I didn't see the play where Jalen Wright got hurt. I just know after a play, he was walking gingerly. I was watching the defensive field, but he had to go the long way across the other field to get to the indoor facility. So it was a long walk for him as he's walking slowly. And then after some initial evaluations over there, which would, I guess, be the equivalent of the sideline injury tent in a game. They took him inside. Then you see him walking with the trainer over back to the medical facility the new one that they have. If you've ever been, I know you have, but for the viewers watching a Dolphins training camp, you're watching the field, the medical facility to the left. So then he's walking around the edges, the perimeter of the field, to then go inside there. So that definitely means more evaluation there from doctors. So haven't heard the latest yet today. So we'll need to find out more, but we don't know right now if it's going to be a long-term injury, if it's going to be something he can come back from quickly, what his status would be as far as whether he needs to be on either the short-term IR for roster cutdown day, which is on Tuesday, what implications it has on that. But right now, I already felt Ollie Gordon just was more impressive. And Frank Smith, of course, was trying to say a lot of it was the situations, the boxes that the Dolphins had to run against, the looks that the Lions were giving Jalen Wright and the second-team offense that was starting the game versus Ollie Gordon and the third-teamers later in the game, the defenders they were going against, different things that they were running. So, yeah, there are other factors, but I felt Ollie Gordon was just better, truly, at just the way he was seeing it and running the football. And then now even more momentum for Ollie Gordon now that Jalen Wright is down with an injury.
Dude, the only thing I need to see from Ollie Gordon right now is, and this is the unknown, can he pick up the extra man, the blitz? Can he block? That's the only thing that I am terrified about with Ollie Gordon. Everything else about a running back so far, I like him over Jalen Wright right now. The way he runs with authority, the way he sees the field, I like what he does. I'm not seeing Jalen Wright see the field, actually. And then I wanted to see if Ollie could catch. He's shown me he can catch also.
He had a drop or two also. So
dude, he's a human being. He's not he's not Derek Hagan. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're gonna have a drop or two, but I'm this is something that you can work on and get better at and those kind of things. And so I see that there's potential there. You can do all of that. The only untested thing right now is, and none of us really know this, is can he block? Because again, we have not faced adversity. We're not in a real game where he is looking at fronts that he has never seen before, and he has no idea where the extra guy is coming. If Uno tells him, yo, look out here, then okay, I'm sure Uno will help him out. You know what I'm saying? And maybe Aaron Brewer can also kind of point out where maybe the extra pressure is coming from. That'll help out Ollie. But it's very important that he knows how to block, because that's the only other thing that can end the entire season. Okay? Because if Ollie misses a block and you get to a hit bad and he's injured, season's over. So that's really the only thing. So here's and you can't answer that either, by the way. Okay? So I'm not even going to ask you about that, because nobody can answer that, because we just don't know. So now that we have the Jalen Wright injury, are you going to Shamklin or whatever, and the other guy Moore, or whatever the hell it is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or are you waiting for a cut now? Because maybe you could get a better, forget about free agents out there that are out there right now. Maybe you can find somebody better that's going to be cut, out there.
Yeah, you got to keep all options available if you're the Dolphins. Think about, just a couple of weeks ago, you had Ollie Gordon as the clear fourth running back because Alexander Madison was having a strong camp. And then, you figured, hey, year two, Jalen Wright, he's going to take another stride. Jalen Wright, you kind of penciled in already that he was going to be something this year, right? So Gordon very quickly now, with Madison going that he's done for the season. He was your offseason free agent signing at running back, power runner who could help you in short yardage. Now you won't have him. So quickly, then also by performance, I even tweeted that the Detroit game, comparing him and Jalen Wright. What, did he just move from RB4 to RB2 in a matter of 7 days between the Chicago game and the Detroit game? And then now he's kind of going to be thrust into it. We don't know how serious the Jalen Wright injury is, but if he's not available in 2 weeks for week 1, and then Devon Achane, not only that, he's also dealing with a calf injury that they're being cautious with right now. I don't think there's any implications on week 1 yet. I don't think we're there yet with Devon Achane's calf injury, but you don't want that to become something worse and affect his Achilles. But Ollie Gordon now is going to be a vital member of this team. And yeah, you do need all options because he was actually your last running back on the roster. After they got rid of Nate Noel, the kid from Miami Northwestern in Missouri, Ollie Gordon was your 4th and final running back. They didn't even have other running backs. When Alexander Madison got hurt, that's when they signed Shamklin and they signed Mike Boone, who is a veteran. He's got some experience. Shanklin's got a little bit of a run in the past. But yeah, you're going to look at what you have between those two guys. For most of this preseason game, I would see Ollie Gordon starting against the Jaguars, and then you quickly get him out of there because you can't have another running back go down too. And then you give Boone and Shamklin the rest of the game, see if you got something in either one of those, and then you're really scouring all options. Any team that lets one go that doesn't make their 53, you're analyzing that situation. The available free agent running backs, which I haven't even really taken a deep dive into that because, just like I said a couple weeks ago, I thought the Dolphins were set with their 4 tailbacks that they were going to keep, and then now all of a sudden, yeah, they will be needing to look up other options.
Well, wait a minute. All these people that want to be insiders, they got you guys, working extra because Asante Samuel was in the building and you guys didn't report it, okay? And then on top of all of that, they're also top trade targets for Brian Robinson also. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you guys, but you're not doing your jobs out there. Slappies out there, wannabes are breaking all kinds of stories, bro.
That's the age we live in, where a lot of hearsay between fans, and sure. I mean, now some people, I'm sure there are fans who talk to people who are in the building, and they tell them what they saw, what they think they saw, and then or what they think they heard from someone else who's reliable. But I mean, a lot of stuff is. It's really like you got to get it from the top. If you're getting it from someone that's just like an employee in the building, then they're not going to be privy to a lot of the real deal of what's going on. And actually, an official visit would have had to be reported, which was not, by through the league, listed in the transaction report that Asante Samuel visited the Dolphins, which was not the case.
It's not the case. It's just ridiculous. And then what is it? Robinson, the running back that's disgruntled, or somebody said Brian Robinson, is it right? And then somebody's reporting, the Dolphins are a top trade target. And I'm like, dude, do you know the Dolphins? Have you seen this front office? They trade for running backs, give up stuff they don't do that, bro. I to be quite honest, right now in this situation that Miami is in, the real, really tough break for them is Jeff Wilson signing with San Francisco 2 weeks ago, because he's the guy that you can seamlessly put in this position right now, that you can put him there to block because he knows how to block. He can catch the ball. And of course, he's got some toughness for short yardage stuff, and so that could have been the nice buffer in between Achane and Ollie, is a guy like that kind of knows his role and all that and can fill it because he knows everything. Now Miami's in a difficult situation because now they've got to find somebody that also knows the scheme, knows the responsibilities and those kind of things. And it just becomes a little bit more difficult right now, for them.
Yeah. No, I mean, Brian Robinson, that's a case where, you can start to put some pieces together and speculate. Yeah, Dolphins need a running back. He's one that's out there on the block, then, you could just piece that together easily. But, the Dolphins will have to keep all options available if Jalen Wright's injury is anything serious.
No, I can understand that, but, the only problem is I would imagine, is he getting paid a lot of money? What's he getting paid as a base? What is that kind of cash? And at this point, I don't know, dude. That would be my whole question, because he's probably making $3 million, $4 million.
Yeah, I saw something where his salary jumped this year with the way his contract.
He's on his last year. I want to say maybe 3.6. See, there you go. Yeah, whatever the base. Yeah, it's the base because Miami would pick up the base, correct? If I'm right, they pick up the base, not the cap hit. Correct?
Right, which is I saw 3.4, I believe.
Okay, so 3.4. Miami doesn't pay running backs that kind of money. I don't know, man. What were they paying Madison?
Ooh, not. I don't think it was that. It was less than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't pay a lot of, and so I'm going to have to give you a pick and pay him $3 million. And yeah, I don't see the Dolphins doing that, man. It just hasn't been like that. But I get it. It's for these fans that want to be insiders or whatever. Huh? 1.3 what?
Yeah.
Oh, Madison was making 1.3 million.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
No, and he was on a down year too because his yards per carry were at 3.
Yeah. I just sometimes I get it. Fans are fans and they want to be insiders and all that kind of stuff, but you also have to look at the landscape and look at their MO, at how they do business. And that's not normally how they do business. Yes, sir.
I lied a little bit.
You lied.
Yeah, it looks like 1.19 is the guaranteed portion.
Oh,
but his base salary is only $590.
Oh, okay.
So I guess there's some
Yeah,
language in the contract where the base salary is $590,000.
There'll be an injury settlement there, and there'll be something in between. Right. It's probably what it is, right? Right, David? Yeah, that's probably about. So he'll make even less than that. So yeah, he won't even make the 1.3. But it's crazy, dude. That's why it's just. I would imagine that they're gonna. Cornerback, offensive line, and running back are going to be the focus on these final cuts here all around the league. Right?
Although I will say, I see a guaranteed at signing was 1.19 for Madison.
Okay. So he's going to get the 1.19 then. Okay.
Yeah, with the guarantee. I just looked on Spotrac or Spot Rec.
Yeah, they do get a break because it's an injury and they get some insurance break or so. I don't know how that works out, but they do get some kind of a break out of it. I just don't know how that whole thing works out. But anyway, I would expect O-line, running back, and cornerbacks are the things that they're going to be searching for now in these final cuts.
Oh, yeah. Cornerbacks, hey, I'm still running out the guys that you need to see. Well, I mean, yes, the Dolphins are playing starters to begin with, but like the Detroit game where the cornerbacks were the one unit that was still getting sent out there, like the top guys to see what they have. I would expect more of the same. I think you need to see the cornerbacks that are vying for those roster spots for longer in this game. Backup O-line, those spots need to be settled. Whether it's Brunskill getting run, Keon
Smith is the only guy that I wouldn't play. Everybody else there doesn't have enough. There's nobody that's arrived or anything like that, dude. Nobody's paid their dues. I would be playing those corners like crazy if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got 2 weeks to rest till the opener. I need to find out who can actually cover and who can't, dude. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Mike Hilton was the one as a veteran that I asked Anthony Weaver about it. He said, we know what we got in Mike Hilton. But also we see in practice, and it's kind of peculiar how he doesn't get so much run with the top units. So it is just interesting just how they've been using him as in, could he be some kind of surprise cut? But I feel like
he's 31. He's 31, right? I think
up there. Yeah, I'm not sure his exact age off the top of my head.
But I want to say Mike Hilton is 31, and I think they're just pacing him.
I would think so too. Yeah.
You can't wear out a 31-year-old's legs, bro.
Right, and I feel like he's pretty essential.
He is. He's 31.
Mm-hmm. They do like what they've seen from Jason Marshall, the rookie, trying him in the slot, but still, that's a position he is just starting to play now. So it's not like you can just count on that and be set in the nickel in the slot. So you want Mike Hilton, veteran presence for that role. I would think. But aside from that, I mean, unless Storm Duck, who's your top boundary cornerback, you're saying, hey, we can't lose him because we also have Ethan Bonner hurt now. He's recovering from a hamstring injury from last game, so maybe you pull Duck out early because you already know, how you feel with him. But yeah, other guys like Cam Smith, we need to see more from. We need to see if Kendall Sheffield probably won't play because he's also a little banged up. But you need to see who was, I think, Cornell Armstrong. You got to see more of. I want to see Jason Marshall keep doing what he's been doing. Jack Jones, I think he's recovered well from that Detroit joint practice against Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's also played a few years. So you probably throw him out there some, but then get him out there, and I think he should be on this roster. So and then other guys, I mean, like if someone else can emerge, like Ethan Robinson was not part of the conversation, but then he makes that play to end the last preseason game. And if he has another great game, makes several big plays, is locking down his men, then that's how you just make a run right at the end for a spot at a position where they need guys to show themselves. So I'll be kind of looking out for that. If there's some kind of surprise corner or offensive lineman that really just elevates themselves and makes a case like, no, I need to be on this roster. You're not just labeling me a long shot. You're going to need me on your team.
All right, let's wrap it up with this. The Darren Waller situation. I haven't understood. Like, I don't understand why you would play Tua now and put him at risk in this last preseason game. Okay, now the Darren Waller situation. You're telling me you don't want to rush him back onto the field, but Chris Myrick was out of football for 3 years. You got him right there right away. Chubb was out for a year with a serious injury. He's back. Phillips coming back from another injury, got injured. He's out there. There are so many examples that makes no sense. Okay, so now you didn't play Darren Waller when you didn't have pads. You didn't use him in any of the practices. You didn't use him in any of the scrimmages. You didn't use him in any of the preseason games. So now we're going to fast track him over the next 2 weeks with no live action to live action in regular season. So he's going to go from 0 to 100
real quick
when you could have had the opportunity for weeks to bring him along slowly and build it up to a crescendo. Now we are going to rush the process over the next 2 weeks to get him NFL game ready. Bro, explain to me in what country, in what world, in what universe any of that makes sense.
Big O, you're stating exactly what perplexes me about the whole situation, is that if that's the rate of progression from, let's say, the 0 to, what are we going to call it, like
100?
15 or 20%?
It's not even 60. It's 100. You're going to the regular season.
Right. Yeah, I'm saying where he is now. Like I mean 0, like coming out of retirement, you want to play. Like what he's done so far, is it like out of 100, is it like 15 or 20%? And then now in 2 weeks, you got to go the whole rest of the way. That is a lot to ask. He's missing out on all the work against opponents. I understand those joint practices not being his first action, but if you could have at least had him doing the individual drills at some point,
one-on-one,
work his way to a one-on-one. Where like he just does it a couple of times out there. Work his way to like a team rep where he's not the basis, the foundation of the play. He's not the target. It's just, you run your route and then eventually work your way to, so it really does perplex me. And how they are believing, all right, we are going to activate him off PUP. So now he does count for a roster spot to start the season. You could have kept him on PUP. And then had him out the first 4 weeks. If you still need him once the regular season begins to slowly progress to game action, which I didn't want to say, but that would have been very similar to the Odell Beckham situation last year, where they did start him on PUP for the regular season. But now they did take him off the PUP. So now he's going to be on your active roster, 53-man roster. He's taking up a spot, whether he's ready or not by week 1. So now that decision was made. So the Dolphins are rolling with it. So I hope they know something behind closed doors that we all don't know, because it's really peculiar that he's just not really doing anything at practice. Even right now, like we didn't see him. We saw him at team stretch. That was about it. and not really doing individual team drills, nothing yet. And then in 2 weeks, it's going to be a quick turnaround from where he is to where he's got to be.
It's going to be all Fuji's, baby. Ready or not. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. And what are you working on there, sir, so folks can check you out?
Yeah, actually about to jump on with Chris Perkins for Dolphins Deep Dive. So make sure, stay locked in here. You could check out the episode we put out there afterwards. Me and Chris Perkins for Dolphins Deep Dive. That'll start soon. And then I'll be writing in advance, previewing the Jaguars preseason game. I got stuff on what Tua said, the joint practice stuff yesterday, what Mike was saying about the Darren Waller situation, injury updates, all that from the past week, all on our site.
You got it. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ David, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Got it. 954-966-4646. That's Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume, the bookend tackles you want. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, and we are in storm season. So save this number. Save it on the cell phone right now, 954-966-4646. They have their own adjusters. Never, ever, ever, ever call the insurance company. So if you have any damage, roof damage, water damage, wind damage, call Welton Rheaume, explain your situation. They'll send their adjusters, and then they will attack the insurance companies for you. You'll never have to deal with them. The only thing you're going to do is pick up a check at their offices in Hollywood. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rheaume Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rheaume, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rheaume can help.
There's a few of us. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. All right. We are at Caneswear, of course. Come on out and join us. We'll be out here for a little while. And, of course, you can go online at caneswear.com. We are oranged out. We've got 9 days till game day. God, I haven't been this psyched about a season in a long, long, long time. I think they're mature enough now. I think they've got enough talent. I think they've got the quarterback, and they've got something that the Dolphins don't do. They can win at both sides of the line of scrimmage. On offense, they will push people around. That's something that the Dolphins can't do. Can't. And on defense, they've got the same power where the Dolphins do. The Dolphins do have a terrific defensive front. I am excited to see that defensive front. But, I'm old enough. When I was a kid in the 70s, they used to kick your ass on offense and defense. And that was the last time. And that's why they have championships in those days. Because they did what the Eagles did this year. They did what the Broncos did when Peyton Manning couldn't throw for 10 yards. You must win at the line of scrimmage. And to me, that's the one thing. When you are run by an offensive line coach like Mario Cristobal, he's not going to have any of that. You better punch that person in the mouth that's in front of you as an offensive lineman. He was like that himself as a player, an overachiever. He wasn't a high recruit or anything like that. He earned everything he got. He was one of those lunch pail guys that you need on the offensive line. You need those guys that will maul you and they don't care and they're going to play through the whistle. And he has those guys. That's why, to me, you don't even have to be an exceptional freak talent when you have those kind of offensive lines. You just got to make some plays. And then stay away from the stupid stuff. And I think if the Canes can do that this year, it's really down to the defensive coordinator. If he's as good as advertised and he can get them playing, I am incredibly excited about what they can do. They've got the depth. They've got now enough talent. on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They got enough experience. They got enough guys that have been through the system now for a few years. Now they've got leaders. Now they've got guys that can teach the younger guys how to do it. To me, now's when the positive cycle for the Canes starts, where they start to actually win impactful games and get to bowl games that matter and playoffs and those kind of things. Because they're getting back to, like, dominating. That's why the Panthers, who I've got a bunch of jerseys right in front of me. I got Panther stuff back there. Why are they the champions? Because they can punch you in the mouth, not only score. Remember, they used to be able to score in the past, but they always got handled. And in physical games like football and hockey, you gotta be physical. And the Panthers are now champions because they have the talent and they have the physicality. Our Dolphins have not been champions for 45 years because they never have the physicality to go with any of their talent that they've had in the past. It's been all finesse. The Marino years are finesse. We're finesse now. So these are the things that happen when you're finesse. You're not going to get there. You got to have some toughness. By the way, speaking of toughness, Matthew Tkachuk will be signing here in October, 7 days after my birthday. I was born October 1st. Well, on October 8th, from 6 to 7:15, Matthew Tkachuk, baby, Tkachuk cheese, will be here signing and bringing lots of love here to Caneswear. Sergei Bobrovsky, by the way, also will be here Sunday, September 21st. That'll be at 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. So save it on your calendars. They're on your phone. So that way you can come on down and join them. And by the way, you can come on out here and buy some gear. You can get them to sign it, take pictures, all that kind of stuff. And you can do it online. And remember, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. So there you go. And they gave me a couple of examples. You can come out here and get like a jersey, Canes jersey. We got 9 days orange out, baby. I like this one. Since I want my MTV. But it's MIA. I like it. And then, of course, the classic Catholics versus convicts. Oh, yeah. I mean, why not? There you go. Proudly display you're a fan of convicts. Do you get deported for that? No? Okay. So I'll make sure. I don't know. Let me go to the chat board here. What do we got going on? Dolphin Dave, Jaybird, Alexis, Cosa Nostra, Jeff in Long Island. Finn's Rule says, I set my DVR to record The Biggest Loser, and it keeps recording Miami Dolphins football games. There you go. Jamie Zorria in San Jose is smashing that like button. True Finn fan. Think Blue Dodgers. One-Eyed Jack, loving that pump. Yeah. Where are we at right now, by the way? Did we hit 117? We were at 112. Did we hit 117 is the question. Where are we at right now? We are, I think it's 116,708. Let me refresh it to make sure here. 116,752. So we have popped pretty quickly here. Let's see if we continue as Bitcoin is up 3.5%. Ethereum was like at 2,100 or something like that. I mean, 4,100, I'm sorry. And now it's back to 46.42. Remember, 47, I believe like 80 or 90 or something like that is the all-time high for Ethereum. So it is now once again trying to mess around with its all-time high. And we'll see if it does end up passing it today. As Powell says that they'll make a rate cut. Let's see what else. Ray Varnicus is in. M. Brown is in. And he says, go long on Bitcoin. That's a smart man. Edward Thurston Howe. Dougie Fresh says, I just watched the recent David Lee Roth concert footage. I'm calling the gang from Scooby-Doo, and I'm positive Roth is really Yoko Ono wearing a mask. No, it's David Lee Roth is basically ripping people off right now. But, I mean, it's your own fault. You're going to go see him. He has no voice. He's stealing money. I mean, if you're willing to pay for it, go ahead, But he hasn't had a voice in forever. Listen, Roth was never a singer. He had a sound. And he had a cool sound back in the day, but he doesn't have that sound anymore. Can't even do a little bit of the falsetto that he used to do. None of that stuff. None of that stuff. It's like watching Motley Crue and Vince Neil. Vince Neil does not have a voice anymore, and he's just stealing money. And, I warn you guys about these things ahead of time. When I see them, I tell you, hey, don't go see him anymore. Lionel Richie doesn't have a voice anymore. There's certain people that they're going to continue touring because they can steal money and, but, and some of you have never seen them. So you want to get nostalgic. Oh, this is my chance. I never got to see him. Well, you're not really seeing the real deal anymore, unfortunately. Let's see. Edward Thurston Howe, Yater Castro is in. Finn's fan since 66. Let's see. What do we got? Giovanni, good morning to you, sir. JRJ. Stony Stanley. That's your dad, right? Let's see who else. Mr. Stanley, hello. Hello. Skylar Thompson again. Yes, Skylar Thompson yesterday. It's funny. Skylar Thompson yesterday, I wrote it down. He was 11 of 13, 152 yards and a touchdown. You know that Skylar Thompson should be the backup in Pittsburgh? He outplayed Mason Rudolph. Again, it doesn't take much to outplay Mason Rudolph, okay? I mean, seriously, that's pretty depressing, Mason Rudolph. But, wow. Yeah, he made a couple of nice passes yesterday. People were saying, well, that's typical Skylar. I'm like, well, not really, because when he was here, he couldn't even hand off anymore by his last year with McDaniel. I mean, he was a disaster. So maybe he has made some progress in Pittsburgh. But, yeah, Skylar is Mason Rudolph was 6 of 8 for 36 yards and an ugly interception, which was just a brutal interception, dude. Okay? So, anyway, what else do we have? Fort Lauderdale United. Nice job by you, sir, because tomorrow we are going to be here across the street and broadcasting live at Fort Lauderdale United. How about that, baby? Yes, sir. Having some fun. They are going to open up the season against Lexington SC. Looking forward to that. I like it. So if you're a soccer fan like I am and you want to support the ladies, come on out here. South Florida's only ladies soccer team, representing Fort Lauderdale with pride, passion, and community. And they kick off the 2025 season at Beyond Bankcard Field, right at NSU Stadium across the street from where we're at. Family-friendly atmosphere, live entertainment, mascots, and everything. A night to celebrate. Come on out and join us. By the way, you buy one ticket, you get one free for the home opener. So tomorrow, it's pretty cool. Buy one, get one free. You get in nice and cheap. You get to enjoy a terrific game. Root on the ladies. They got to the finals last year. So limited time offer. Take advantage of it. Join us. And tomorrow we're going to be broadcasting a couple of hours before the game. We'll be having our regular sports talk show like we normally do, but on a Saturday now, we'll have a 6-day, and we'll do a talk show, and we'll get to know a little bit about the folks at Fort Lauderdale United along the way. So all kinds of good stuff. We'll be able to even keep you up with the Bitcoin market, see where it's at on Saturday, see if we start getting a weekend pump, since Powell was clearly confused, because who wouldn't be? with this economy and what direction it's going in because of all the craziness. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Sprouts from Space, good afternoon to you. Share Bear, I see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, smash the hell out of the like button. You can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Pat in Asheville. I see. The realist is in. What else? What else do we have? Ray Grullon says, howdy-o, like Mad Dog Mandich used to say, I feel queasy about Tua playing Saturday. Lots of cheap shot artists out there. To me, it makes no sense. Just like the whole Waller situation. So you didn't want to rush him back. So you didn't play him at all when you had him from the beginning of training camp. And now you're going to rush him back in the next 2 weeks to play in the regular season without playing any of the stuff that has happened over the last 6 weeks. I mean, the level of stupidity is enormous. That's all I got to say. That coach, I don't know what he's doing. Brian Radke, Alex Campos. All right. Big O, you got any college football bets going on for tomorrow? No, I do not actually. No, sir. No, sir. Don't know enough about him to make an educated bet. Do you have a suggestion? You can throw it out there. You guys got suggestions for tomorrow? Throw it out there. I'll look into it. Speaking of bets, did you see what happened when Daniel Jones got announced the starter? I could have gotten a half a point more, bro. You bet you took the Dolphins 1.5? Good for you. Damn it, bro. I made a second bet yesterday just to follow it up. I mean, listen, they lose, I'm going to be depressed anyways, but they got to win that game against Indianapolis, bro. You got to beat. So Daniel Jones got named the starter, and Indy's spread went up a half a point. They were favored by 1, and it went to 1.5. Is that insane? Like, wow. And it's, I get it. Listen, I don't have a lot of respect for this Miami team right now, too. I don't think it's very good. And especially with that coach, I think that coach is as mediocre as it gets, but it is what it is. We've seen mediocre here with Cam Cameron and Flo and stuff like that. So we know mediocre when we see it, and this guy's mediocre. And just wow. But I'm going to bet on the mediocre coach to win this one. I'm going to bet on the players to overcome and win. Okay. But wow, just Daniel Jones makes the line go up a half a point. So what happens if Richardson does it go down a half a point? You beat him last year?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not the greatest at sports betting. Usually the home team gets 3 points.
Yes. Yeah. So this is closer than what they.
Yeah.
Yes. You are correct. Yeah. When it's
for some reason,
when it's
Daniel
even,
Jones.
when it's considered even, the home team's favored by 3. Right. So yes, this is considered a more even game. I personally am insulted that it's an even game.
I just don't understand how
I'm like insulted that my Dolphins
anything.
are so mediocre and so disrespected, but I understand it. It's just like I'm torn, but I understand it because I'm not one of those blind ass fans that I can't live in reality. I live in reality. I see what it is. And I get it. But I figured you got to win this game. It went up to 2. Let me go see the Hard Rock app here. I mean, listen, you could get half a point swing anywhere. So I could see that happening. I'll look it up here, see if he's right. Week 1. And now it's still 1.5. So yeah, I get maybe you can get 2 somewhere, but on the Hard Rock app, it's only 1.5. And by the way, we are at Hialeah Park every Tuesday. You can use that QR code there, so you can get your sports bet app through Hialeah Park. It is the Hard Rock app, but if you already have it, then you don't need it. But if you don't, just or you can use a different phone number or email to open up the account if you already had a Hard Rock one. And there you go. And check it out there at and check out the app. 1.5. 1.5. I like the Dolphins. I really do. Mr. Cabrera says, Big O, why we never seem to get it right from the most physical in Flores to the most finesse. Too bad Flores had his flaws. Loved our defense. Oh, he didn't have flaws. He was a complete moron on offense. It's not flaws. He's just a defensive coordinator. He's a complete schmuck on offense. He had no idea. He had co-offensive coordinators. He had a quarterbacks coach that was a former 7-on-7 guy. He changed offensive line coaches like underwears. He was terrible, dude. Terrible, terrible, terrible. He tried to sabotage his own quarterback's career. Like, you know, I'm not exactly sure why there's any kind of sympathy by any of you out there for Flores. Seriously, like the guy's a complete scumbag. He's as big a dirtbag as it gets. Anybody that tries to sabotage your quarterback's career, I'm sorry, man. I have that's Lance Armstrong all over again. That's what's the name of the loser that played for the Canes? That was the Milwaukee Brewer. Brian Braun. That's what that, to me, that's what that is. I have no room for sympathy for people like that. That whatever your agenda is, you need to accomplish it, and you accomplish it by ruining other people's careers. Yeah, no, dude. No, I'm sorry. I cannot forgive you for that. You know? I know how this world works, like on average, that they think sorry fixes everything. In my world, sorry doesn't fix everything. Just doesn't. There are things that you just can't come back from. Too bad. If other people want to let you come back from it, hey, God bless them, bro. They want to have that patience and tolerance, you go ahead. But a person like Lance Armstrong or Brian Flores or Ryan Braun, yeah, no, I don't have any patience for people like that. None whatsoever. Now, you're trying to sabotage and hurt other people because of whatever dirty agenda you have going. Nah. Yeah, it doesn't fly. I'm sorry. So I really cannot comprehend with any of you that have sympathy for Brian Flores in any way, shape, or form. Bad dude. Just because he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. Okay. So Ty Cobb was a great baseball player, I hear, too. Horrible human being. Whatever. Let's see. What do we have here? Big O, which is your water sponsor? I don't have any. I don't have one. I got to take a look at the slate. Not sure what I'm going to go with yet, but I agree the Dolphins should easily, not easily. The Dolphins don't easily beat anybody, bro. I just want to win. I'm getting the points. So there's no pressure on me to win by a certain amount, okay? I just need a win in week 1. I'm not looking for any style points or anything like that. Just win. That's all. What I don't want in week 1 is a loss against the Colts like last year. Like they've lost to the Titans 2 years in a row. You know, that's kind of what I don't want to see. So they're not good enough for me to think that they could easily beat anybody. Let's see. The name Brian Flores makes me nauseous every time. I personally don't believe in forgiveness. Well, I'm good with forgiveness in certain situations, but there are certain situations where, yeah, I'm not going to be very forgiving. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't. So, Big O, saying sorry these days means sorry I got caught. Nothing more. Right, Brett? Right. Sorry these days means sorry I got caught. That is so true. Yeah. What do I think of Coinbase Wallet? Sir, I think you should have a cold storage wallet, period. End of story. Whichever one you want to get, but make sure you have a cold storage wallet and one that you control and nobody else does. Okay? That's kind of the era and the age of where we're going. You know, I told you guys over 6 years ago that banks would start to disappear, and as you've seen, banks have started to disappear, and more will as time goes on. We'll be left with 5 or 6 major banks. All small and mid-sized banks will end up disappearing. Crypto and the blockchain will eliminate the middleman. And so as long as you have a cold storage wallet and you know what the codes are and nobody else does, and you have it safely somewhere, you'll be just fine. You know, overall, that would be my suggestion, sir. So whatever wallet you want to use, Trezor, whatever it is, Tangem, there's a ton of them. Make your decision on whichever one you like. Just make sure that you're not having somebody else control your crypto. Okay? So that's all I would tell you. And good luck. More important, good luck and do your homework, please. What else? I think if HN is healthy, that is a big deal. Well, obviously, yeah, that's it's quick on your part there. That's smart stuff there. Definitely. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports that I wanted to talk about? Gronk is set to sign a one-day contract to retire a Patriot. You guys know how I feel about this if you follow the show long enough. I find those one-day contracts to be an absolute joke. You retired for what you were, bro. You retired as a Buccaneer. And Emmitt Smith retired as a Arizona Cardinal. It's just the way it goes. Willie Mays retired as a New York Met. And Joe Namath retired as a Los Angeles Ram. You can go sign a stupid one-day contract if you want, but that really isn't your playing career. Right? So you retired when you were playing, when it actually mattered. When you're signing a one-day contract, it's not real anyway. So you're really not playing for the Patriots anymore. Signing a one-day contract doesn't mean anything. It's ridiculous. What, you're not going to honor Emmitt Smith because he ended with Arizona? No. Happens, contracts, whatever. Soap operas with the Cowboys is always, you're going to embrace Emmitt Smith and all that, and it's over, and you move on. I to me, these one-day contracts are a joke. Is this like supposed to bring it full circle and you're supposed to feel good about coming back and all that kind of, oh, please, dude, grow up. So you ended somewhere else. It doesn't matter. We're still going to look at you for what you are, right? Joe Namath is only one thing, a New York Jet. Nobody cares about his time with the Rams at all. No one. That's just the way it goes. It happens. At the end of careers, sometimes a player wants to hang on. And okay, and there are guys that are actually like, Shaq is a guy that played in several places. You're probably going to remember him more as a Laker when it's all said and done, but he did play several years in Orlando. and then played a few years in different places like Miami and other places. Actually, he ended up playing here like 3 years, right? Or 4, pretty much. I think 3. 3 on the 4th, right? Yeah, 3. So, you bounce around, but more often than not, all these great players, you're going to be remembered. Gronk, you're going to be remembered as a Patriot, dude. We get it. You went over to Tampa, so did Brady. You won a championship. Both will be remembered as Patriots. They went over there for the mercenary stuff, and God bless them. Good for the Bucs fans. They ended up getting an extra championship. It's a beautiful thing. But these one-day contracts, it doesn't bring anything full circle. Okay? If you want to convince yourself of that, you go ahead, knock yourselves out. But I just find it to be an absolute joke, to be quite honest. Anyway, let's see what we have here. What do you got? No?
I guess since they played last night, he came to the podium this morning, and he was asked about wide receiver Jalen Polk will require season-ending shoulder surgery. He says, "No, I don't know, other than I'd like to find out where some of these reports come from. Some of these rats around here, we'll figure that out."
Okay.
And they've already started cutting down their rosters because, of course, they played last night. So
right, of course.
You can trim the fat now.
Yeah. There's guys that they're not going to make your team. You can cut them and move ahead and give them a chance too, just in case to catch on somewhere else. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? The Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones thing. Man, this is, listen, I don't have really a lot of respect. I have no respect, actually, for Jerry Jones, to be quite honest. I think he's a total clown. Okay. And he admitted it. The old man admitted it this week where, he if they're not in the news cycle, he wants to create some kind of controversy, and Micah's in the middle of the way, and David Mulligata, his agent, is all pissed off because Jerry, by the way, has done this several times in his existence where he tries to circumvent the agent, goes to the player to agree to some kind of deal, and then try to, pull a fast one on the agent. But David wasn't having any of that. And so then Jerry on with, Dallas Homer cheerleader Michael Irvin. By the way, we've had male cheerleaders in the NFL for many years. Michael Irvin is one of them. I know they're now freaking out because they're actually dancing with the women now, but Michael Irvin has been a male cheerleader on the sidelines and in TV and in everywhere for the Cowboys for many, many years, right? I mean, he has zero scruples whatsoever when it comes to objectivity in the Cowboys. So Jerry's on there spewing his propaganda. And he reveals that Mulligata told him to stick the deal where the sun don't shine. And because he was disgusted that he would try to go around him and try to negotiate with the player. And see, the problem that we have here, and I'm going to be nice and honest here, something that people aren't often. That's why this show is what it is. You're going to like it sometimes, and then sometimes you may not like the honesty that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? But the agent knows that players aren't very smart on average. Let's just be honest. Remember, I tell you all the time about Welton Rheaume. You know why? They're the lawyers. We're the dumbasses. We call an insurance company, and they know all the loopholes and all the laws. Do you and I? No. And they'll take advantage of us. But when a lawyer calls them, all of a sudden they're on their toes and they're worried because the people on the other side of that phone call know all the laws and all the loopholes. You and I don't. We're idiots. But I'm willing to admit that I'm an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Some players may not think they're idiots, and they think they can negotiate a contract that's best for their interests. And that's exactly what you pay your agent for. It's not so much the commission. He's going to get the commission regardless, but he's also going to figure out incentives, guarantees, things that will protect you. And Jerry Jones is only going to worry about things that will protect the Cowboys, not the player. And that's where, obviously, if Micah Parsons had half a brain, he would have told, hey, Jerry, listen, I respect you, love to play for the Cowboys, want to be here for a long time, but you got to negotiate with my agent. I'm not negotiating because you're circumventing what you're doing. He's a paid professional to do that. I don't know how to negotiate contracts. Do you? I don't know all the loopholes in insurance and housing and businesses and all that kind of stuff. That's what you hire Welton Rheaume to do. That's what, as an athlete, as an entertainer, that's what you hire your agent to do, because they do all these contracts all the time. You're only going to do a couple in your lifetime. They do hundreds. So they've already made some of the mistakes that you're going to guarantee make, and they're going to make sure that those mistakes don't happen with you. They're going to go through all their experiences, and they're going to know all the different ramifications from everything that goes on in that contract that can definitely screw you over. So now Jerry is using the players' relationship and abusing it, and then also trying to circumvent against the agent, because he knows the agent is not going to take his crap and is going to negotiate what's best for their client, which is what Welton Rheaume would do for you guys. Same thing. That's why we hire professionals. But when you play for the plantation team of the NFL, because that's what the Dallas Cowboys are, they're run by a plantation owner in Jerry Jones. This is what happens, dude. Just saying. And this is the circus that you're constantly dealing with. This is why when the players had all their issues and they wanted to kneel, he go, oh, yeah, no, we'll do this before the game and we'll do it all together and all that. And why? Because he wanted to control the narrative and get it away from television and then own the players by doing it the way he wants to do it. And that's how he runs his entire team and his organization. And it's obvious, and he doesn't care, and he owns the power. Okay? And he wants to display that power all the time. It's what they do everywhere, bro. That's why Harvey Weinstein got in trouble, because he was a man in power and then abused it. Go look at the last two administrations in power now. They know how to abuse it. So, it's just a whole power trip type of thing. It's what it is. That's what happens when you play on the plantation, known as the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, sir.
It happened, though.
What happened?
Brian Robinson. He's been traded
to the Dolphins
for a 6th-round pick.
To the Dolphins.
To the San Francisco 49ers.
No, dude. No.
Yes. They outbidded us. We wanted to do a 7th-rounder, apparently. They wanted to do a 6th. No, I'm just kidding. He got traded for a 6th-rounder. I don't know anything else. Jordan Schultz reported it, and others are confirming now.
I like this. Can you tell me the running back group? They might cut Jeff Wilson, dude. Give me the depth chart of the Niners. Because I don't care about the Brian Robinson stuff. Listen, bro, I don't listen to silly ass fans and all that. I love you all out there overall, please, but don't act like insiders. You're not insiders. You don't have insight. You don't know anybody. You don't work any with agents and people in the actual business and all that. Fans are fans, okay? And so, it's good because this last week I've had an opportunity just to kind of, set out those examples. Not that most of you will follow it. Unfortunately, you'll continue to repeat all the stupid Facebook posts and stuff like that. Like, oh, the Dolphins are going to trade for Brian Robinson. Like, are you stupid? Have you watched the Dolphins? You know what I mean? It's like, and then the sad part is then you have people that actually like follow the Dolphins. They're retweeting it and looking at it like it's actual news. The same thing that happened the other day with the Asante. Oh, it looks like we're getting Asante. Oh, he's coming. No, he's not, bro. He was never here. That was never a story, but it is what it is. Do we have the group of running backs there for the San Francisco 49ers? Well, it's not updated. Oh, Jeff Wilson's not. Well, did I get it wrong? He's not in San Francisco. Is Jeff Wilson somewhere else, not San Francisco? Okay. Because I thought he was there. I thought they signed him like 2 weeks. Somebody signed him 2 weeks ago. I thought it was the Niners. Maybe my bad. But he's a guy that knows the system, and that could be a guy that they could use as a buffer in between all the guys and make it, and then waiting for Wright to be completely healthy and those kind of things. So I don't know. Oh, okay. But he is with the Niners. That's what I thought.
Yeah, but the four running backs they have are not there. Like he's not on the first four on the depth chart that I saw. But
okay,
let me try to see if there's another one maybe on the 49ers.
So then that means that he could be available. They have McCaffrey, Robinson, Isaac Guerrero, James Jordan, Jeff Wilson, and Sean Vaughn. So Keshawn Vaughn. Oh yeah. They could actually, and James Jordan is their 5th round pick this year. Okay. And Isaac Guerrero is their 4th round pick last year. They just traded for Brian Robinson and they've got McCaffrey. Dude, there's a good chance they will cut Jeff Wilson. So look out for the Dolphins, since Jeff Wilson knows the system, knows the blocking scheme and those kind of things. He could be one of those backup running backs they could bring back if Wilson is cut. Okay. By the way, he also could get traded to Miami, Jeff Wilson. What they'll do is a stupid 7th round swap. That's all. Like, okay, hey, listen, if yours is higher than ours, if not, whatever, and they'll do that. If not, we'll do it the following year or whatever, and they'll do something stupid like that, just so he doesn't go through waivers and risk somebody else picking him up or some crap like that. I could even see something like that. Or Jeff Wilson traded for some back-end guy you're going to cut also, but they could use him because he's whatever, a last corner, a last whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Corner like that. Like Miami would have. Wide receiver, yeah, something, whatever, just anything, dude, whatever. It could be anything, you know what I'm saying?
The defensive end that made a big play or something. Like if he keeps going,
right,
he becomes that guy. They're not worried of at the end.
Yeah, extra. Well, they have a whole bunch of linebackers. It could be one of those linebackers that they send over for Jeff Wilson or something like that. It could be something like that. You know what I mean? You're cutting Jeff Wilson, we're cutting this guy, but you could use him, we could use him, and it could be something like that. I could see, but just folks, when you're perusing through all this stuff, I get it. You're excited because you're a Dolphin and you want it to be true, but just look at the source. You know what I mean? Just look at the source. And those people, when you look at it, go, okay, do I ever get news from this person? I never do. So why am I going to, that's what but most don't, unfortunately. Okay. All right. What else do we have going on? Commanders are taking on some of the money, huh? Hey, what do you think the Dolphins would be telling him? Yeah, it's 3.4. Well, you're going to need to take 2 of that 3.4, buddy. We're only going to take 1 point. We don't pay running backs here in Miami, I just love it. They drafted Ollie in the 6th round. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little Hurricanes. We are here at Caneswear, and of course, remember, you can go online and use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off or here in person when you come on out here to Caneswear. We are 9 days out. All right. We are oranged out, baby. So come on down here. We got the Catholics versus convict shirts. We got all kinds of hats and T-shirts and jerseys and jackets and just all kinds of almost anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. Plus, Matthew Tkachuk will be here on October 8th from 6 to 7:15. And Sergei Bobrovsky will be here Sunday, September 21st from 11:30 to 1 p.m. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to our BigCheeseMiami.com Miami Hurricanes NIL and recruiting report.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right. Let's get to our NIL and recruiting report. All right. How you feeling, Manny? You feeling good?
Good. Oh, how are you?
I cannot complain, my brother. I am here at Caneswear having some fun. So, and comfortable, nice in the AC. So that's a good thing. All right, we got Notre Dame. We are nine days out. Recruiting has gone through the roof for the Canes. What are the big names that plan to be there for the Notre Dame game?
Yeah, it's going to be like probably, I would say, more than 50 of the top recruits in the country coming down for that game, including a lot of Miami commitments, guys that are part of their 2026 class, from Joel Irving, the offensive tackle over on the other side of the west coast of Florida here, to Samarian Wingo from Jacksonville, Jordan Campbell, the linebacker. So you're going to have a lot of the Miami recruits in the house, including Javian Mallory, the running back, who was getting courted by some SEC schools. But the big names to track is going to be Derek Cooper, who, of course, committed to Texas earlier this summer. You have Jacob Curry, who's committed to Northwestern as a linebacker, Leaky Tompkins, a kid from Louisville who's a potential flip candidate for Miami, and then a whole bunch of the top 2027 kids, including Braden Tyson, Julius Jones Jr., the offensive tackle, Mark Matthews from St. Thomas Aquinas, who's one of the best in the country. So, and Miami just picked up a commitment earlier this week from another 2027 guy who will also be there, DeMarcus DeRoche from Cardinal Gibbons. So, a lot of big name kids that are the elite recruits. Obviously, want to see Miami win a big football game. The Canes haven't won many of those so far in the Mario Cristobal era in terms of beating, top 5, top 10, top ranked teams.
It's time, bro. It's time.
It's time to deliver one of those wins. And Neiman Lawrence is another guy. He's a 28 kid, one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in his class. So this is the kind of game that can make some memories for some kids.
Well, when we were talking about it in our Caneswear report earlier in the week, to me, dude, if the defensive coordinator comes through, that's it. It's time. It's time. You have on offense, you have what you need in order to win, but you can't have the imbalance that you had, with that defense. That defense has got to make. I know that it's hard to dominate on defense in today's game because it's just so, so spread out, but you got to get stops, dude. You got to get stops. And this is the year, dude. You have to. If not, then you start wondering, when's it going to happen? You know what I mean? How many more recruits do you need? And we've talked about this. You're not going to end up landing those elite recruits, like the really top-notch ones all the time, unless there's winning tied to this.
Absolutely. And I keep trying to tell people that over and over again because they're like, oh, Miami's paying top NIL dollar for all of these guys. And they're like, how come we're not getting the best players in South Florida, like Derek Cooper, to stay home? And I'm like, well, he's going to Texas. Where's Texas been the last couple of years, right? They're in the national semifinals. They're in the SEC championship game. Kids want to play in big games. And, yesterday the SEC announced that they're going to a 9-game schedule. that is only going to hurt the ACC more and more, because think about how many SEC teams played ACC teams in those non-conference games. Those were opportunities for ACC teams to say, well, look, we play SEC teams. Well, now going forward, those games, a lot of those games are going to get nixed. I mean, they'll probably still have Florida State, but when is Miami going to play Florida again, right? When are the Gators going to bother to put Miami on the schedule going forward if they're playing 9 SEC games? So there's a power disparity, and Miami is on the outside looking in. They're in a conference right now that is viewed as lesser, which means they have to do more. And these opportunities to play Notre Dame, to play Florida, you have to take advantage of them, or you're just always going to be playing from behind.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. All right, when we look at the 2027 class and the commitments earlier this week, tell me a little bit about DeMarcus.
Yeah, DeRoche is a big-bodied, sort of freakish type kid. He's 6'6", 200 pounds. As a sophomore last year, he caught 10 passes for 165 yards. And then he played defense, had 11 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, was all over the field. Sometimes he'd line up at receiver. Sometimes they put him as DB. Sometimes they'd line him up off the edge to rush the quarterback. He'd play outside linebacker. I mean, the only things he didn't play were quarterback and offensive line. So he's a kid that plays basketball. He runs the 200 meters in track. He's a very diverse athlete and the kind of guy that, that usually ends up going elsewhere because Miami isn't in on him early enough. It's good that they have a commitment with him, that they have a relationship with him early on in the process, because this is the kind of kid who I think is going to blow up over the next 2 years. And look, you win games like the opener against Notre Dame, you beat Florida, you get to a college football playoff, you get to keep a kid like DeRoche. You don't win those games, odds are pretty good he's not going to stick around.
Bro, what are you talking about? Mario is working people from the crib, bro. Drayton Hester is like in pre-kinder, and they're talking. Right. No, seriously, he's like in 7th grade or something like that. I mean, Mario is working on. Did you hear about this? Drayton Hester, 7th grade.
Yep.
And Mario's already working on Devin Hester's kid, Drayton Hester, which again,
yeah.
Devin Hester already has a kid in 7th grade, bro.
Well, it just shows you how time flies, right? I mean, listen, I got a 9th grader now myself, and she was I just remember her being in kindergarten, but that's the way it goes. Oh, I mean, time flies, and listen, he's offered 5th and 6th graders before, guys that are in elementary school that are, because he wants to start those relationships early. But I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everybody else when they ask me, well, why didn't we get this guy? Well, you haven't won shit. You haven't won shit for years.
You got to win. Yeah.
Because the money is the same. Oregon, Texas, Ohio State are going to pay them as much, if not more. And if they can offer that they're playing in important games and you can't, where do you have the edge? Oh, right. I'm from home. These kids don't want to stay home anymore. Like, you really have to give them something to want to stay home.
Yeah, they don't. That's not a priority anymore for them. It's playing time and money. And if you win, if they're going to get playing time and money everywhere else, okay, all right, who's winning? Then that becomes the other part of the equation. And if you don't fill that one, then that's going to hurt you with the other places that can give them the PT and the money. Plus, they're going to win on top of all of that. Yeah. So to me, that's why this season is so important for Mario in that sense, because he must bust through that threshold. And if he doesn't, then the worst part about it becomes now, can Mario build a staff? Because if like the defensive coordinator doesn't come through or something, then people will be wondering, well, wait a minute, dude, we're how many years in and we can't find a staff? You can't, get the right players, this, that. And so that's why this is like a very, very important year for him. I think it's going to happen. I'm hoping it does, but man, you've got to start crossing that threshold. You got to.
You have to, and I agree with you. I mean, I put out my finished up my predictions. They're going to run next week, but I've got them making the college football playoff this year as an 11-1 regular season team, because I do think they're going to beat Notre Dame and Florida at home. I also think they're going to drop an ACC game they shouldn't.
Yeah. Just get tripped up one time. I agree with that. Yeah,
and then I have them losing to Clemson, who I think is just a better team. in the ACC championship game. So I think that'll be enough to get them one of the at-large berths. And look, that's a step forward. That's something they didn't do last year. That's something they didn't do last year. They had the opportunity to do it. So I think the defense will be better enough. But, they could very much lose this opener against Notre Dame. And I think anybody who looks at Notre Dame and says, well, they've got a redshirt freshman quarterback, and so many of the guys that played in the national championship game are gone. Dude, Marcus Freeman knows how to push buttons. And let me tell you, they've got more blue chips on their roster than Miami does. So every single year, they load up with elite recruiting classes. Mario is just starting to get Miami back to that level. So, this is a game they could easily lose. And
it's a trench war.
Oh yeah,
it's a trench war, which by the way is kind of good for there's a break in this game for the Canes because we still don't know how good the secondary is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, your secondary really is not going to be like tested heavily probably in this game. But boy, that front seven, them boys are going to get a worn out job because Notre Dame's going to run. Period.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love is the best running back in the country in my mind. Like, I think he's going to be a Heisman finalist. I think, this Notre Dame team will get back to the playoffs because they're good enough. Their offensive line, I mean, they had a lot of kids play last year that got a ton of experience and won big games. Let's not forget, this team beat the SEC champion Georgia in the playoffs, right? And then they went and they beat Penn State here with a bunch of backups in key positions for them. So to me, yes, it's not the same exact Notre Dame team from a year ago, but if CJ Carr is as good as they think he can be, then I think Notre Dame can win the national championship. That's how good they are. I think they're good enough to do that. My question is, can you really count on a redshirt freshman to play mistake-free in game one? And I think that's where Miami has an opportunity to steal this game.
All right. What do you got going on in the Athletic, my man, so folks can check you out?
Yeah, I've been telling you guys that my duties have changed quite a bit. I'm part of a three-headed monster team that's in charge of roster construction and talking to people all around the country in terms of the way people are building it. And we just put out our first Portal Buzz column. Sam Kahn, Antonio Morales, and I. We just spent a week in Nashville a couple weeks ago talking to a bunch of personnel people. And so it's a good little sort of look at, new additions to rosters nationwide and big picture look at roster building. So if you're into all that, you're trying to see what's going on in college football in an age when so much is changing because of the transfer portal, because of NIL and guys moving around, and who are sort of the guys you should expect some surprises from, then you're going to want to read that column every single week because it's going to have that kind of stuff in there.
All right, good stuff as always. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work there at The Athletic. And, of course, our friends at BigCheeseMiami.com, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Go check them out. The pasta is shipped from Italy, cooked fresh daily. The hurricane memories on the walls are endless for 40 years, man. Go see Gary. Started off with Gary and Billy over 40 years ago. Billy, rest in peace. We miss you, brother. 305-662-6855. All dishes can become platters. So if you want to have a party at your home or at your office or school or any kind of workplace, call the Big Cheese and they can deliver it or you can pick it up. 305-662-6855, and they're at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely.
You too, brother. Talk soon.
You got it. Have a great weekend.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Well, we're here, and of course, at Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and it is endless, the amount of stuff that's here. Almost anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. Check out the hats. This is a sweet hat right here, dude. Lots and lots of Canes hats, all kinds of styles. Damn, that's ugly. Anyways, here we go. All kinds of styles. There we go. Helmets, jerseys, shirts, guayaberas. You want a Canes guayabera? I got it. Here you go. Check it out. All the jerseys and then more hats, as you can see underneath. I mean, the style of hats and the jerseys, and check the safari hat out there. It's crazy, dude. They even look, even Marlins. They've got Marlin stuff here. There you go. Mark Fletcher is a monster. Love it. See? Anything and everything. Oh, the classic ones. The classic Canes jackets. There's some helmets up there with the ugly Dolphin logo if you're into it. There's a little bit more of the Canes jackets, different colors. And then, of course, more and more hats, car mats. I mean, you can't, it's crazy. By the way, Big O 10, you will get 10% off. There you go. Dolphins. Check out, look at those jackets. They won't see you. I think somebody's already taken a jacket.
Which one you
Jeff
prefer,
looking
just
for
the aqua or the both?
Hurricanes. It's a dangerous place. You'll get in trouble here because there's so much good shit. Little sneaker action. They got all kinds of stuff. Back there, all champion stuff for the Panthers. Different shirts. Back-to-back champion, Conn Smythe, Rat King. All of that out there, man. And, of course, more championship Panthers gear all over the place. Chuck around and find out. Little Dolphins with the old logo, by the way, which is a beautiful thing. See, so they got anything and everything here at Caneswear. Socks galore. If you're into little Canes socks action, sandals, of course, flags. Got everything. And then they got a bunch of stuff here for kids. By the way, you got to get them started young, you know? So, look at that. For the babies, for the children. Little Panther action, little Dolphin action. School packs. Championship school pack for the kid, huh? That's badass. Got all the Heat hats here. There's more. There is more.
There is more. Every second Brett gets an opportunity to stick something new he does in this place. It's just endless, the amount of stuff. And then you got a wall of Dolphin hats here. Pretty cool. Here's where I come practically every month to find a new Dolphin hat that I don't have, which I don't have this one in the collection. I think I may have to add that one. Old logo, which you know that's a law for me. I got to have the old logo. I like that one. That's kind of cool. Not bad. These are all the olds, all the stuff you can find online. Okay. And then a whole bunch of Heat hats, some Marlins hats, as you guys can see. Big O10, you will get 10% off. All right. Let's, some, I guess this is for the ladies. Some shorts. Oh, yeah. Workout stuff. They got everything. Everything. I could be here for like hours just showing you everything here at Caneswear. And you can find it online because Jeff and everybody out here, they make sure they have everything online for you there at Caneswear. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Now, let me sit down here and out. There we go. All right. We are back. We are back. We are back. Remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Anthony, thank you, sir. He says, Fuller signs with the Dolphins for 5 months of community service. Yeah, that would be good to get Will Fuller back for some community service. Maybe his finger has healed. Who knows? One guy's like, wow, Robinson Jr. to the Niners for only a sixth. It's a running back, man. There isn't really much value in running backs nowadays. That's the thing. And he's a decent running back, but there's just not a lot of respect for running backs. I just saw the 3rd edition of the Bills Hard Knocks. It's boring. And you could tell they didn't want anybody. They didn't want that there because they gave them like fringe players to be a part of it. It's like in order to put together that 3rd episode, and I'm sorry if I'm giving any spoilers away, which I don't really care. In this case, I don't do it for the movies, but in this one, they're just focusing on guys because they didn't want to put any of their frontline guys, and there are no personalities. This may be the worst Hard Knocks I've ever seen because it's nothing, dude. It's nothing. It really is. It's more, and I watch all the Hard Knocks. And so you want some drama, train wreck like our Dolphins were, unfortunately. But whatever, you want something, characters and things like that. And so far, I got to say, 3 episodes in, not impressed whatsoever. I'm sure it's a hell of a team. I'm sure it's going to be a pain in the ass for Miami and all of that. But as for the show itself, Buffalo has done a marvelous job. They didn't want them there in the first place, and they've done a nice job of giving Hard Knocks the most sterile episodes they've ever had, pretty much. Yeah. Just boring, nondescript players, edge of the roster guys, and Buffalo Joe is like your most compelling person. That's about it. Really not a good watch. Not a good watch. I'll watch it and I'll finish it because I watch it every year. But yeah, not impressed. By the way, today is day number 18,849 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Let me do a little music here real quick. Since we have not done any of the music. Let's see here. What we got. Where are we at here? All right, let's start it off with folks born today, August 22nd, musicians born on August 22nd. Dua Lipa, the English singer-songwriter, born in 1995 on this date. Howie D, singer with Backstreet Boys, born in 73. Let's see. Lane Staley, the late Lane Staley, vocalist with Alice in Chains. We lost him to an overdose back in 2002. James DeBarge from DeBarge, born in 63. Tori Amos, singer, born in 63 on this date. Richard Ozabal from Tears for Fears, born in 61. Debbie Peterson from the Bangles, born in 61. Who else? Ian Mitchell from Bay City Rollers, born in 58. Evelyn Thomas. Wow. High energy. Your love keeps lifting me high. Born in 53, Evelyn Thomas. We used to jam that all the time back in the day. Little Backstreets, 1235, Club Ovo. Those were the days. Donna Godchow, member of the Grateful Dead from 72 till 79, born in 47. Let's see who else. John Lee Hooker, blues guitarist, born in 1917. That is musicians born on this date. Let's go with other famous people born on the 22nd. Remember, if I don't give you the age, that means sadly they have passed away. Like Pope Leo VII, who was born in 1760. Okay. Writer Dorothy Parker, born in 1893. Writer Ray Bradbury, born in 1920. Fashion designer Mark Bowen, born in 1926. General Norman Schwarzkopf, born in 1934. Baseball Hall of Famer Carl Yastrzemski, born in 39. He is still with us. He is 86 today. Valerie Harper, the actress, born in 39, a.k.a. Rhoda. Rest in peace. Bill Parcells, born in 41. He is 84. Actress Cindy Williams, Laverne and Shirley, born in 47. Baseball Hall of Famer Paul Molitor, born in 56. He's 69. Vernon Reed from Living Color, born in 58. He's 67. Tennis Hall of Famer Mats Wilander, born in 64. He is 61. Musician GZA from Wu-Tang Clan, born my year, 66. He's 59. Actor Ty Burrell, born in 67. He is 58 today. Chef Giada De Laurentiis, born in 70. She's 55. And actress Kristen Wiig, born in 73. She is 52. Comedian, television personality James Corden, born in 78. He's 47. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir. Stevie Ray of Harlem Heat turned 67. Sam Muchnick was born on this date in 1905. Manager of the Road Warriors, Paul Ellering, he turned 72. Pat O'Connor was born on this date in 1924. Pac turns 39. Mr. Leo is 35. Apollo Crews turns 38. And it's time to eat. Jay Uso and Big Jim, they turned 40 on August 22nd, 2025. That's it.
All right. Let's move over to music history. What happened today in music history? Well, we start out in 68. Ringo Starr quit the Beatles during the White Album sessions when the constant bickering and tension became too much for him. The news of Ringo's departure was kept a secret, and he rejoined the sessions on September 3rd. After Ringo walked out, the remaining Beatles recorded Back in the USSR with Paul on drums and John playing bass. In 70, Bread went to number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with I Want to Make It With You. The group's number one hit was number 5 in the UK. Many artists have covered the song, including the Supremes, Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind & Fire, Dusty Springfield, Andy Williams, and Mark Cohen. Let's see who else. In 70 on this date, Creedence Clearwater Revival started a 9-week run at number 1 on the U.S. album charts with their 5th studio album, Cosmo's Factory. In 79 on this date, Led Zeppelin released their 8th studio album, In Through the Outdoor. The record cover was one of the most expensive and elaborate covers ever produced. Moisten the inside sleeve artwork and it turns colors. It features Fool in the Rain and All of My Love. In 83, Depeche Mode released their 3rd studio album, Construction Time Again, and it features Everything Counts. In 87, Madonna went to number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Who's That Girl, her 6th U.S. number 1, and also number 1 in the U.K. The track was from the soundtrack of the motion picture of the same name. Let's see who else. In 2002, the late great Jimmy Buffett's first Cheeseburger in Paradise restaurant, named for his 78 song, opened in Indianapolis, Indiana. I wonder if it's still open. Is Cheeseburger in Paradise in Indianapolis, Indiana still open, Sean? Please. In 2006, a band that I wish would get back together again, although I don't know if they'll still have the magic, Outkast released their 6th studio album, Idlewild, and it featured Mighty O, Morris Brown, Hollywood Divorce, and The Train. They're so good, man. In 2014, Aretha Franklin, with special guest of Four Tops, performed at Minnesota's State Fair Grandstand. And in 2018, Vampire Weekend lead singer Ezra Koenig and his girlfriend Rashida Jones have a son, Isaiah. His grandfather is Quincy Jones, Rashida's dad. Yes, sir.
Not only is the one in Indiana not going to be found, you will not find any.
They're all gone.
They ceased operations in 2020, the final ones.
It lasted 18 years. That was a pretty decent run. All right. Let me see if there's any other birthdays, because sometimes this has birthdays that that did not have the other list. David Marks of the Beach Boys is 77. I don't think I mentioned that. Oh, Juan Crucier of Rat is 66. Definitely did not mention that. Colin Ray is 65. And that is it. And that's what happened today in Musica history. All right. Oh, man. All right. What do we have on the chat board? Kyle Cockrell, I hope you're ready, Big O. And chat, ETH is about to hit its all-time high. Once we go past that, get ready for all your favorite altcoins to pump a lump. Get ready to take profits when everyone's bullish. You are correct, sir. You are correct. Maybe we will get our altcoin push. We're right there. We're at 47.74. Ethereum is up 13% right now, 47.65. So we need to hit like 4,800, and we're over the all-time high. Wow, it is right there, dude. That's pretty impressive. Did Bitcoin climb back to? Did it get to 17? No, it's stuck in the 16 area. It went to 12, and it jumped to 16, and it got to like 16.7, I believe. It's at 16.555 right now. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Right now we are running. We'll see what happens. What happened with the markets today, too, by the way? What happened after Dow is up 910 points. And the S&P's up 97 points, and the NASDAQ up is 1.5. Wow. It's crazy. Oh, man. Looking forward to it. Let's see. What is the big difference about pasta from Italy to the pasta from America? LOL. No, it's not. It's not, Edward. My daughter at home, okay, she makes fresh pasta. And if you could go buy whatever company and the pasta packaged and all that, if you want, you go ahead and do it. And then have somebody make fresh pasta. And I'm just telling you, there's a difference. There's an enormous difference. Not just a difference, an enormous difference. So when the pasta comes from Italy, it is probably done a lot better than, because I know, because my daughter now will refuse to buy a pack of pasta. Because she learned how to make pasta. And have you ever tried fresh pasta? Have you ever had somebody make fresh pasta in front of you? Like you're eating like pasta from scratch.
Not right in front of me. I mean, I've had people say it was fresh pasta, but I couldn't tell you that it was actually
oh my God,
fresh pasta.
And once you've had that, you will be able to tell the difference. Yeah.
What's funny is I'm not a pasta person.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I'm fat, but I'm not a pasta guy.
Wow.
I don't like a lot of pasta.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love Italian.
No.
Mexican and Italian, I can eat every day.
Like
every day.
I like lasagna. I can eat tons and tons of lasagna, but I don't like spaghetti.
Okay, but spaghetti's boring.
I don't
Spaghetti's
like
for kids.
I don't like even like when I do
but at least spaghetti with meatballs is
chicken
better.
parmesan or something. I'll get the meatballs. I won't get the spaghetti.
Right, I get it.
I get the chicken parmesan without the pasta. I do all that, but like the only pasta that I really are like lasagna noodles or something like that.
Right. No, I got it. I love pasta. Oh my God. Man. It would be dangerous for me to live in Italy or Mexico. Oh God, I love Mexican and Italian food. It is just a huge weakness for me. Big time. Big time. Big O, if DQ comes out with the pasta, will you try it? Of course. Of course. You know me. Me and DQ, we tight, man. We tight. True Fin Fan says, I have had fresh pasta, and I can also assure you there is no comparison between Italian food that's in the States to Italian food in Italy. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Sometimes you just got to travel because we're so programmed here and we think like we have everything is the best, and it's really not true. You know, there's a lot of things that we just don't even come close to doing the best. You know, just because we maybe have the best system in the world, okay, or whatever, but maybe that's questionable too nowadays. But we are, True Fin Fan is 1,000% right. If you think we're killing it in food all over the place, no, we're not, dude. No, we're not. Yeah, and the food part, we might be getting our asses kicked all over the place, all over the world. You know, and when you do travel, he is right. You will notice the difference. And I can tell you, you don't even have to travel. If you have somebody that knows how to cook and they know how to make fresh pasta, and they make fresh pasta and then put it right in right away and cook it and you eat it, it is completely different, bro. And you taste it. It is just the quality, the flavor of it is just, my daughter kills it, bro. Kills it, man. When she says she's making pasta, I am psyched. Because I know she's making fresh pasta. She will refuse to buy a box. She has these racks that they have like little sticks out, and she has the pasta hanging from it, you know, drying and all that as she's, you know, making it and cutting it up and all that. Like, you know, she's like, because she's into these cooking shows and all this shit, you know what I'm saying? So she's like totally into it, you know, and I win. because she actually makes some great food. And I'm just telling you, there's a difference if you have somebody make you fresh pasta. I promise you, there'll be a difference. And you'll taste it. You'll taste it. So try it one day. Try it one day. Have somebody that knows how to really do it. It'd be amazing. Big O, did you see Brian Robinson Jr. got traded to the Niners? Wow, did that really happen? Damn. Oh. Our season's over. We could have had Brian Robinson. Only for a sixth rounder. What are we doing? Telling you. Chris Dade 305. Telling you, dude. Heartbreaking. Have I ever tried Peruvian food? Of course I have. Dying to go to Peru. Dying to go to Peru. That is a bucket list for me now. As I've been studying a lot of stuff, I am going to visit a lot of South America, bro. A lot of South America. I want to go to Argentina. I want to go to Colombia. I want to go to Peru. I want to go to Uruguay. I want to go to Paraguay. There's a bunch of places that I want to go to. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am definitely going to be traveling quite a bit down the line, and I want to see some of that stuff too. Before I check out, go see different parts of the world. And definitely, I have had Peruvian food and Peruvian ceviche. So, yes, I have. And Peruvian food is delicious. What else do we have? Yet Cuban food here is light years better than in Cuba. By the way, my father-in-law and brother-in-law are the head chefs in Bill's Stone's Crabs in Las Olas. My wife is even better. Lucky me. There you go. I like that. The Cuba stuff is the problem with Cuba is Cuba. You know, when you're a poor country and you don't know how to actually manufacture and put money back into your country and into the things that you make and all that, Cuban cigars aren't as good as they used to be anymore. The whole world caught up and passed Cuba on cigars. So, True Fin Fan, it's about a whole bunch of other things. They don't have the structure to get the best out of what they have. You know, it's just incompetence. And that's what happens when, because you're just limited as a country and you don't know how to grow. And so that's it. You got the wrong people running it, and they just care about keeping the people under their thumb, but they don't even know how to grow their own country. So, yeah. Unfortunately, if you got stupid people running a country, this is what ends up happening. So that's why. So even when they were so awesome at cigars, they've lost that too. It's just if you don't know how to maintain quality and stay on top of it, and then stay on the cutting edge because things change, not Cracker Barrel style, but things change. Yeah. Yeah, and that's Cuba's problem right there. They're inept. They're a bunch of morons. So they don't know how to run anything. And that's why they've run it completely into the ground. All they care about is just keeping people locked up. Just keep it a big old prison. Big old island that's a prison. That's all they worry about. They don't have any real business capabilities there. Unfortunately. That's kind of been what they do. Speaking of Cracker Barrel, you want to bring up that one? What happened at Cracker Barrel? Dude, that's a hell of a controversy going on with Cracker Barrel. And then somebody put out that funny Miley Cyrus before and after. Wow. Can you believe Miley Cyrus did that to herself? Seriously. Why would you do that to yourself? What was wrong with the Miley Cyrus on the left? Some of you out there, you just look fine. You look good. You don't really need to do anything. Never understood it. Go look at Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was a good-looking kid, bro. He did not need to do anything. And then he just destroyed his face and just was completely unrecognizable compared to what he normally looked like. Man, I get it if you are butt ugly and you've got like some growth here or, you know, whatever. I get if you got to fix that. But, wow, I never understand these people. But it is funny. Cruel, but that was funny. That was funny. I can't believe she did that to herself. She is a pretty girl on the left. And on the right, I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, God. If you like cigars, try Rocky Patel. Oh, yeah, man. No, I know Mr. Patel and Nimish and all the people at the top at Rocky Patel and hung out and partied with them. Yes, there's several cigars I like from Rocky Patel, even a sun-grown one that's really good. Yeah, I'm a Rocky Patel fan. I like their cigars. They do a great job with cigars and good people, by the way. Big Packers fans. Rocky and most of the top guys, they're enormous. They went to the University of Wisconsin. I don't know if you know that, and they're big Packers fans. So yeah, I would imagine that they're pumped up with Jordan Love and company for this season. They go to the games and everything. If you ever follow Rocky, you'll notice that there's a little bit of an affinity with the Green Bay Packers, and that's because most of the people at the top are actually Packers fans and even went to the University of Wisconsin and graduated from there and all that. So yeah. Let's see what else. Cuban cigars are nowhere near what they once were. Nicaragua, Honduras, and Costa Rica. Well, all those countries passed them up because the companies moved there, and then they have the money, and they took it to the next level. And a lot of the people that are, like Perdomo, well, they got a Cuban background, so it's like, so you got people that actually know about cigars, and then they go, okay, well, we can't go to that country, but we could go to other very fertile countries that have volcanic ash and ground, and that's what you want to grow great cigars. And that's why. And Brazil, by the way, is another one that's up and coming. You mentioned the top three, but Brazil quietly is growing in the world of cigars also. Yeah. So you can they're not monsters or anything, but Brazil is actually a very fertile ground, obviously, to grow anything there in Brazil. All right, we are out of here. We appreciate everybody. We thank Brett and Jeff and everybody out here, as always, making it nice and easy for us. The great Sean Stanley. We thank David Furones. We thank Manny Navarro. We thank all of you who tuned in. True Fin fan, thank you for another super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anthony Campos, thank you also. Remember, you can also make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And by the way, where are we? We are at 48.28 for Ethereum. We have hit an all-time high before we got off the air here. Ethereum at an all-time high, 48.26. Damn, that's pretty impressive. Finally, it broke through. So Ethereum at an all-time high. And by the way, Bitcoin is now approaching 117,000 because it's at 116,868. It is up 4%. So when it hits 117, if it does, that's 5,000 up in a couple of hours, which is just absolutely impressive. All right, we shall see you all tomorrow, actually, afternoon. Around 5 o'clock, we'll be on. 4:30, 5 o'clock, we'll be on tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be talking some sports. We'll have another sports talk show for you tomorrow here on the Big O Radio Show.
O Show. This is